Mark talked about how clouds are diversifying. People are running this software in more and more places and in more use cases. And one of the most extreme examples of that I've really been getting my head into over the last year is around edge computing. It's something that I think when we were starting OpenStack, we certainly never considered that as kind of a primary use case, but it's one that we are seeing more and more of. And we've got a lot of edge content here this week, and to talk about OpenStack and the edge, I want to bring out two people who have been working on this and working on the edge for close to 2 years now. Help me welcome Ildiko and Beth Cohen.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back on stage, Beth.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about what happened on that keynote stage 1 year ago in Boston.
Oh, wow, yes. So we've come a long way in a year. So I submitted a use case for the Verizon Virtual Network Services product, which is in our software-defined networking strategy, and I was invited to do a keynote because it was a really interesting use case, and if you were there, it's OpenStack in a tiny little box. And so there was a lot of buzz around that, and then we moved on, and I was invited to, as part of the program committee for the OpenDev meetup that occurred in San Francisco in September, and fantastically, 200 people showed up, and we spent the 2 days arguing about what is edge computing.
And then we went to Sydney, where we had a couple more discussion, stand-up room only forum session, and believe me or not, we were still heatedly arguing about what edge computing is. And everyone's like, oh, no, you're wrong. No, you're wrong. So the Edge Computing Group, we decided to write a white paper, which we published just before the PTG in Dublin, where we spent 1 day on sessions discussing pain points and challenges and requirements that we have to address today. Because even if there are solutions in production already today, there are a lot of manual steps and pain involved. People are suffering, so we have to act now and find the solutions as soon as possible. So here we are in Vancouver, and edge computing came a long way since last May. And it kind of also entered a hype cycle, a really massive hype cycle this year in the whole industry. You just cannot go to a conference without, or a workshop or a meeting without hearing about some aspects of edge. So I have a theory, which is that each and every time when you present this onion-like edge architecture diagram in yet another color on stage, there's a kitten dead somewhere in the planet. So, I mean, I know not everyone loves cats as much as I do, but I think we all agree that kittens are really, really cute, so we just can't let this happen. This is why we are moving past this hype cycle and putting things into motion, which we started with the white paper.
So let me talk a little bit about the white paper. What was really powerful to me about it is it was a collaborative effort across many companies and many industries. And what the white paper did, and I advise everyone in this room to go out and read it ASAP, there's going to be a quiz later, to really define not only edge computing, but also, more importantly, some high-level use cases. There's some very significant use cases that have very practical application today, 5G in the telecom industry, but those are not the only use cases. There's a whole lot of interest in the IoT community, in self-driving cars, augmented reality, telemedicine. A lot of different industries are going to be deploying edge computing as we move forward. So it's really important, and the key to this very complex problem is to really solve it across industries, across companies, and of course across the open source community.
There are more than 20 groups out there in this open ecosystem who are trying to figure this whole edge thing out. And it is really important that we are collaborating with all of them with whom we have integration points. So just look at examples that we've done in the past and we are still doing, like Kubernetes in the container space, or just think about OPNFV, like what came out with our work with that community. We are understanding telecom and NFV much more. We are having a lot of cool features landed in OpenStack. Just remember the mobile call demo from the Barcelona summit, and XCI to make testing easier and more efficient. So this is the path that we are taking with edge computing as well, collaborating with the adjacent communities to ensure that we have clean and smooth integration, and we are also working together with standardization bodies to ensure that we are also synchronized with their activities. But this all is just the starting point. There's much more coming, discussions, some code, and we need all of you to get involved and help us to make this happen.
And to do that, there's over 40 sessions in the coming days, and there'll be on Wednesday, a complete track is dedicated to edge computing. I all invite you to participate and contribute to this fantastic effort. There's a lot of work to be done. Welcome, and help is needed.
See you there.
Thank you.
Thank you.